welcome back to Conversations with Affiliates. My name is Danilo Petranovic, and I work here at the Abigail Adams Institute. This morning, it's my pleasure to welcome Collin Smith. Collin is a junior now at Boston College. And Collin, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how did you end up in BC?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Iowa, very small town out there, about 2,500 people. Coming to BC then was sort of a big step, obviously, but I knew I wanted to be out on the East Coast at an academic institution, sort of that has all the things that BC has. A decent sized school, but football and a really solid philosophy program.
Okay, so the philosophy program was a draw.
Yeah, I think sort of the whole liberal arts program was to me. I'm a business major, but sort of my ability to leap over to the other side of things and really be involved in the liberal arts has been nice.
Terrific. So you're both business and philosophy. Is that right?
So I'm a finance major, and then I'm creating my own major in what I call value theory, and I'm taking courses sort of all across philosophy, history, economics. Then.
Okay. How do people do that a lot at BC? Create their own majors, or
it's not that common. It's kind of a pain.
Okay.
They make you go through a bunch of hoops, but once you get it all handled and you get a couple good professors behind you, it's a very good process.
So, can you tell us about a few outstanding professors you had thus far at Boston College?
Yeah, I think a couple that stick out. Definitely Professor Kruger in the philosophy department. His sort of main focus is the Kyoto School from Japan and problems of nihilism. We worked a lot together, and I'm a huge fan of him. There's obviously a lot of other standouts in the philosophy department then. But then on the sort of finance side of things, I've had a lot of great experiences with people like Professor Barry.
Okay, great. So can you tell us a little bit more? What is value theory, and what are you up to in your?
Yeah, of course.
Is building up towards something like a senior thesis, I understand.
Yeah. So basically, the main question that I'm asking is, what is value? Can it be determined? And if not, what is valuing? There's sort of so many ways to attack this problem. I don't think you can ask it in one sort of way, right? So I'm going through economic thinkers like Smith and Marx and Ricardo, but then you really sort of end up at a one-sided analysis there. So you obviously then have to investigate the history of money and finance, and then along with that, really get into philosophy, right? So anything from Kant to Nietzsche to Girard especially sort of take place here. And really what I'm doing then is sort of trying to combine all of these things to attempt to determine what is value. Can we actually have an objective value? And if not, what are sort of the processes that are valuing?
Sounds fascinating, both theoretical and practical.
Yeah.
I see a lot of practical applications.
Yeah.
Associated with it as well. Terrific. Collin, have you thought about after college? I mean, I know you're in the middle of it right now.
Yeah.
And what you might want to do.
I really have no clue whatsoever. I think sort of being a finance major, I'll go into something like that to start off with. But I really sort of, as you can tell, want to be convinced of the value of something that I'm doing. So definitely things related to intellectual thought are interesting too.
Yeah. Terrific. So, Collin, how did you find out about Abigail Adams Institute, and what are some of the events or programs that you've taken part in?
The first event that I took was the Eric Vogelin seminar, which I think was about a year and a half ago now. And that was a really sort of great first experience. We all came down here to the library and sort of had that weekend conversation. And it was one of the first times in Boston, I think, that you sort of, at least for me, had that full intellectual experience where it's entirely open and everything's on the table and you're sort of pulling from multiple disciplines all towards the conversation which you're having. And I think that was sort of the first initial draw. And after that weekend, I sort of just kept coming back.
Great. Yeah, no, that was a terrific seminar. We had a great bunch. I agree. So, Collin, anything else that you want to tell us about, perhaps in addition to your interest in value theory and in finance? Also, what are you reading now? It can be pleasure reading or Anything you want to share with us?
Yeah.
Books or particular authors that have struck you?
I think recommendations are kind of weird because you need to sort of like know what you're recommending for, right? In terms of books that have stuck out this past year, in terms of fiction, I've really liked Absalom by Faulkner. That was really good. In terms of philosophy, Heidegger's collection of poetry, language, thought, with his sort of essays on the origin of the work of art and the thing, have been really great. Michel Serres' book, The Five Senses, I think really needs to be read more. So probably those books.
Terrific. Thank you very much.